All right, so the first question you were asked was how big? And you should have not glued the pictures in yet, but I just want you to look at the way you have your pictures arranged now and what the actual answers are and kind of compare how close you are. The smallest object is the Hubble telescope at 40 feet. Then comes the moon, which is 2,000 miles in diameter. Saturn, which is 75,000 miles in diameter, not including its rings. The sun, which is 875,000 miles in diameter. The Pleiades stars, which is 60 trillion miles across. Then we have the Whirlpool galaxy, which is 600,000 trillion miles across. And then we have the deep field galaxies, which are 600 million trillion miles across. Now, if you notice, the galaxies are the biggest things, and a band of stars, like a grouping of stars, are also the biggest thing. The first four are all in our solar system. So that kind of gives you an idea that our solar system really is pretty small compared to some of the other things out there and some of the other things our solar system is a part of. So what I want you to do now is glue in those pictures. And underneath or above them, I want you to write these distances so you remember. But I want you to glue them in the correct order. And you may need to pause the video because I'm going to move on anyway to get that done. So please pause the video now, glue in your pictures, and write down the distances. Our next question was how far? And again, compare the order you have to the order on the screen. How does it compare? And again, if you notice, they're in the same order they were on how big. We have first, being closest to us is the Hubble telescope, which is 350 miles above the surface of the Earth. Then we have the moon, which is 250,000 miles away from Earth. The sun, which is 93 million miles away from Earth. Saturn, which is 790 million miles away from Earth. The Pleiades stars, which are 2,400 trillion miles away from the Earth. And then we have the Whirlpool galaxy, which is 200 million trillion miles away from Earth, and the deep field galaxy, which are 30 billion trillion miles away from Earth. I mean, these are crazy, crazy far away. I mean, across the country of the United States is about 3,000 miles. I mean, our closest one, 350 miles, is not that far away. But then look at the next one, 250,000 miles. Very, very far away. And again, if you notice 1 through 4 are all in our solar system. So obviously they're going to be closer to us than those things that are not in our solar system. So again, I want you to pause the video, glue it in the correct order, and write these distances above or below the pictures so you know for reference. Our next one's how old. Again, compare your rankings to the rankings I have here. We have a couple ties, so it doesn't matter what order the ties go in because they're tied. And let's look here. How old? Number 1, Hubble Space Telescope. Obviously is the most recent because it's technology. And I guess it's not really a few years old, but in the span of the universe, it's just a blink of time. But it's been out there for 23 years, since 1990. Second, we have the Pleiades stars, which are only 80 million years old, which is not very old for, not terribly old for a star. And then we have a three-way tie between the moon, Saturn, and the sun, all of which are approximately 4.5 billion years old. And if you look, these three are all in our solar system. So that kind of gives you an idea that our solar system, everything in it, is all about the same age. And then we have our galaxies again tied, and they're both approximately 10 billion years old. So please pause the video again to glue those in the correct order and write the ages of each item above or below the picture. And now I want you to go to a blank sheet of paper in your notes. I know you were supposed to turn in the notes, but I haven't been there to do that. So right now, just get a loose leaf sheet of paper, put it in the prongs because you will be doing a new folder for the next chapter, and date it. Today's date is 9/27, and write down these facts. The universe in general is 13.7 billion years old, and it is 93 billion light years across. Now, a light year is actually a unit of distance. It's not a unit of time. You would think it would be time because it's a light year, but it's actually a unit of distance. And if you skip down to this bottom bullet here, light is one of the only connections we have with the universe outside of our solar system. Like, we're not going to take a rocket ship with a or an odometer on it and fly to the sun to see how far away it is. I mean, we would burn up very quickly. So we know the speed of light. So how much time it takes for the light to get to us tells us how far away it is. For instance, the sun in our solar system. The light we're seeing right now happened 8 minutes ago on the surface of the sun, was emitted from the surface of the sun 8 minutes ago. So it takes, 8 minutes for light to travel to Earth. And we can figure out, based on the speed of light, how far away sun is based on that. So a light year is a unit of distance, not a unit of time. And the universe contains 100 billion galaxies. There's a lot of galaxies we haven't even discovered yet. I mean, the universe is huge. It's so big, it's so hard to comprehend. There's a lot of galaxies we haven't discovered. Those that we have discovered, most of them don't even have a name because there's just that many of them. 100 billion. We live in the Milky Way galaxy. We're a tiny blip in the Milky Way galaxy, which is an even smaller blip in the universe. So really, when you think about life in another place, the universe is huge. There's a lot of possibility with that and a lot that we don't know and that scientists do not know.